No, they find
It is 7 o'clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's roll call, noting all in attendance. I am going to give the floor to Janet for a statement.
Thank you, Julie. I've heard tonight that there will be people talking at the public comment portion of this meeting regarding me. They will be calling for my resignation along with some current board members tonight because of a video that has been posted of me dancing at a local establishment a few months back. I seriously wonder what the purpose of this will serve and what this has to do with being a school board member. Maybe they are jealous people of having a good time and being a fun mom. Then I thought, hatred. These people who continue to talk month after month at a school board meeting are promoting hatred. There are people in this community with so much hate in their veins, ugliness in their hearts, and negativity in their lives that they will have to find something on someone, and that someone is now me. Well, what I do in my personal life is absolutely none of your business, and I'm quite perplexed as to why my life outside of being a board member is so important to you. And I don't know why you're videotaping, it's already on YouTube. You may think you came tonight to quote-unquote call me out, but I will say involving a local business establishment is truly pathetic, and that you have stepped to the lowest of lows that you could have possibly stepped. You are truly a sad individual. Effective immediately, I am stepping back as a sitting board member of Beecher 200U. This is extortion and blackmail of an elected official, and I am in the process of seeking legal counsel for defamation. It's not for the comments that you have prepared for me tonight to speak of me. I am stepping back because I will be having the last word and you will not. I pray for people like you that want to promote negativity and think bashing people that are trying to do the right things in this community just to make yourself feel better. I know a current board member that is in cahoots right now with the two former board members who are behind this witch hunt. It is a small town after all. He claims he's for the children, but think about it. He's telling kids it's okay to bully and will stop at nothing that gets in his way, attempting to destroy and demoralize people. This district is against bullying, so why is he doing this? Because he thinks he's above all. I will set myself apart from you and not name names, but y'all can figure it out. Some board members are ruining this board and are losing great people who believe in doing right for our district. It is also funny how this is all coming out with less than 2 months before the election. Think about it, people. These are people who are trying to sway an election. Politics should never, ever be part of a school board. If you have a different point of view on this board, some will do everything in their power to talk about you in public, teach people to hate, and again demoralize you because you keep politics, and for that matter, the Awake Illinois movement, out of discussions. I've done good work on this board. We may have not met eye to eye on everything, but the bottom line is we do what's right for our children and for our staff. To my fellow board members who will remain on the board after the election, please keep up the good work. Let it be known again that I have the last word and you do not. You did not win, I did. I did this because without naming names, people can read in between the lines, and I no longer have to remain silent. Look at the people who talk to current and former board members after a meeting, whispering about what they say at the next meeting to get under people's skins. I am taking the high road, not because of what is out there on social media, but because I am the bigger and better person. Maybe you should hang out with me and let loose someday. But then again, I don't hang out with people that are not as cool as me. So it's been a pleasure serving on the Beecher 200U board. Thank you. Bye, sweetie. I love you too.
It's a sad day.
Oh, no. It's a good day. Thanks, Julie.
It's amazing how my life has changed so much in 4 years, thanks to a lot of people. I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of January 9th, 2023, negotiations committee meeting minutes of January 12th, 2023, special residency committee meeting minutes of January 26th, 2023, transportation committee meeting minutes, I'm sorry, I have to pause. I had to reappoint somebody for secretary since we just lost ours. So I have to take a pause. We'll revisit that motion in just a second. So at this point, what we have to do is we do need somebody as secretary. As board president, I would like to suggest that we would consider Miss Katie here as she does mostly all of this. And it would be temporary until the reorganization meeting after the election. Of course, if anyone else has different nominations, we can field those as well, but I would like to officially nominate Katie for secretary.
Seconded.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Did you check and see if it has to be a board member?
Yep, talked to Izzo extensively.
Yeah.
Not enough to put a big bill, but definitely to make sure that we are well within our legal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second.
Thank you. And you said, and Dr. Gaham will be doing the roll call.
So, who was my first?
I think Ashley was the first, second. I was the nomination.
No. Okay.
Motion. How do you do this?
Are there any, it's just like we did, are there any other recommendations?
Yes, any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
I'm just taking roll call.
No? Okay.
Motion by Ashley, seconded by Mr. Herman. Pappas.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Mazurk.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving back to our motion then. We needed our secretary official. We need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of January 9th, 2023, negotiations committee meeting minutes of January 12th, 2023, special residency committee meeting minutes of January 26th, 2023, the transportation committee meeting minutes of January 26th, 2023, the facilities committee meeting minutes of February 8th, 2023.
So moved.
Second?
Pappas.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Mazurek.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you. You will see the executive session minutes in your packet. I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting executive session minutes of January 9th, 2023. The negotiations committee meeting executive session minutes of January 12th, 2023. The special residency committee executive session minutes of January 26th, 2023.
So moved.
Second?
Herman.
Yes.
Mazurek.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And to February 2023 expenses, did we have any more in our, any additional bills? No? Okay. All right, so as presented, I need a motion to approve the February 2023 expenses as presented.
So moved?
Is that Brandy?
Or Ron?
Pick one, anyone?
Sure.
Okay, we'll let Brandy. How about we'll let Brandy do this one?
Become secretary, you get a little sassy.
Mazurek. They distract. Mazurek.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Mr. Peters for our treasurer's report.
Okay. Balance in the supernow account at First Community at the end of January was $722,218.30. Checks outstanding were $28,578.66. January payroll expense carryover was $42,223.59, leaving the adjusted bank balance at the end of January at $651,416.05. Lunch program balance, $54,166.99. Impress fund, $5,000, giving that balance a total of $710,583.04. The investment accounts finished the month at $6,752,059.18, leaving the balance of all funds as of January 31st at $7,462,642.22. January receipts were $1,539,420.18. Expenses, $1,259,082.48. Individual fund balances, education fund, $4,907,163.86. Building fund, $506,798.69. Bond and interest, minus $74,261.86. Transportation fund, $904,752 even. IMRF, $253,589.03. Working cash, $178,680.80. Tort fund, $202,593.97, and life safety, $583,325.73. Interest earned in January was $1,007.77. Anyway, quite a few distributions from the state. State aid, $265,918. Regular transportation, $76,575.44. Special ed transportation, $67,376.53. Special ed private facility, $72,8665. Special ed orphanage, $56,915.19. School lunch program, $10,395.67. Special milk, $9.71. Title I, $23,213. IDEA SOIC, $66,675, and ESSER II, $27,026. No distributions for taxes.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Peters? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve the February 2023 Treasurer's Report as presented.
So moved. Second.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt? Yes. Flores? Yes. Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Public comment. First is Carla Weissel.
I just have a question, without it being on the agenda, did you ask the lawyer if you can appoint a secretary without it being on the agenda? And let's be clear, it's not the board secretary that takes the minutes, it's Katie Gersh. So that's what I'm wondering if that was an open.
Everything has been vetted with the lawyers. Thank you.
And it's in our policy on the
It's
website.
not on the agenda.
Thank you, if you have yielded your time. Next public comment is Ms. Pena. Hold on one second so I can reset the time.
I just wanted to comment about the new things coming down the pipeline about the arts and the music programs being changed a lot in the schools. I would think most of you would agree that art and music are very important to many students on many levels. It's not just, an extra thing or just a fun thing to do. Not all students in the school are sports-minded, and a lot of them are interested in the arts and music. I think that maybe if we start thinking outside the box, maybe there's a way to have an after-school activity where a full-time instructor would not have to be paid to teach. And just like people that have kids that are in the sports, they find a way to make the fees possible, they find a way to make schedules work out for picking kids up. If we take away music the choir in the junior high, how are we gonna expect it to thrive or even continue after a few years in the high school? Because kids are gonna be coming from the junior high, going into high school without that experience, and probably there won't be as many interested because it wasn't offered in the junior high, and then when they get to high school, they won't even have the knowledge that they need to have and the level they need to be at to sustain that program. Because then they're gonna be basically teaching the knowledge they had from 5th grade. And I just think it's wrong. I understand it comes down to dollars and cents, but as a parent of somebody who loves music, lives music, breathes music, and she's gonna be, have her 3 minutes after me, she's not even really gonna be affected by this. But the fact that it's being taken away from other kids who desperately have avenues to pursue that are not sports. If this was baseball, the school would be in an uproar. Oh my gosh, we can't get rid of baseball. Oh, what about basketball? Oh, we can't do anything with our track team. But it's kind of like, oh, it's only music, it's only art. Well, that's what some kids live and breathe. And I just think that, coming from also a parent who had a child go from 5th grade to senior year in the course, in the choir program, he enjoyed every second of that. And he learned a lot, and music is so important to brain development. So I just feel like there's got to be other ways. There's got to be ways to pursue this. So she takes music lessons from someone local who teaches piano, and she does online. Her voice coach lives in South Carolina. North Carolina. And we make it happen, and she has thrived.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pena. And we have Isabella Pena next.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm
If you did not know, it's 3 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Just making sure.
I live in Beecher, Illinois. I'm an 8th grade at the junior high. And I believe that getting rid of choir is wrong because you're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. And you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We'll rise, we'll rise, we'll rise, we'll rise.
Wow. That was so brave of you, first of all. Like, that makes me want to cry. Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this.
The teacher of part-time players is always looking for.
That's what I was gonna say, it's under drama next year, so.
It's not just about me. It's about the kids that are gonna come after me.
Absolutely.
Because kids my age, we're difficult. We go through things.
Yep.
And we need the music.
I get it.
I'm not saying that the elementary doesn't,
Yeah,
but the junior high kids, they definitely need it.
I appreciate that. Yes. And I really appreciate you doing that again. Like, you're amazing. We hope not to have to go to that. We need this referendum. I would hate for that to change. Okay, that is the end of our public comment. Moving on to staff reports, Mrs. Black?
I don't even want to talk after
I know. We're gonna need you to sing it, Mrs. Black.
You guys all have my report. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. Officer Hanson is in this week and next week doing more lessons with our students at the elementary school. We also, for the next about 5 or 6 weeks, we'll be focusing on kindness at the school. We are starting tomorrow, we'll have an assembly with that, focusing on kindness and trying to get 1,000 acts of kindness from our students over the next 5 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. I have no doubt that they can do that. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is just over the next couple of, we have staff meeting, and the next week we have a half day where we will continue to look at our test scores and our RTI process and reflect on how we can improve those areas. And also looking at planning with next year's schedule, how to think about now while we're planning for that schedule, what kinds of things we might need in place to be able to grow those scores like we want.
Just a question on
Sure.
class sizes. I noticed we gained 4
Yes.
students. For third grade, how many sections are third now?
We have 4 sections.
4 sections, so the class sizes are
We have since the beginning of the school year, yeah.
awesome. Okay, so that was able to distribute well. And then 4th grade dropped 1, 5th grade only went up. Okay,
We gained another 5th grade student today.
okay. And how many sections of 5th are there now?
5th grade, we have 3.
Okay, okay. Anyone else have questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beck. Dr. Kwasny, is this your last one?
Boo.
17 days away. So good evening. I hope everyone's doing well. I just wanted to share a couple things. Black History Month, we've been celebrating at the junior high, and we've been doing morning announcements where we're recognizing the contributions and achievements of influential African Americans. We also have a series of novels that the students are reading in their ELA classes and various projects throughout ELA and social studies as well. Wanted to mention that for our 8th graders, Mr. Sarsny, the counselor at the high school, is going to be coming over and looking over course selections just to start to get that ball rolling in terms of registering for classes next year. He's going to come again and do some other activities with the kids and talk about course selections as well, but this is going to be the first initial kind of look over everything he's going to push into the ELA classes. And then the last thing I just wanted to mention is that our IAR testing, we are kind of going to be testing at the front end of that window. So we're going to start in March. So we're going to be testing, and I mentioned this last month, but we're only going to do 1 test a day. So last year and in years past, we've done reading and math in the same day. We're only going to do 1 test. So it's going to be 6 days long. We're going to have 1 math section for the first 3 days. And then we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then that following week we'll have ELA, and that will be 3 days as well. And then we're going to wait until April to do the Illinois Science Assessment. So I just wanted to mention those important things about testing. Did anybody have any questions?
And I don't know if this is for you. Are they going to be able to do, the 8th graders, the KCC
trip? Remember last year was on spring break, so I took them. Do we know when it is this year?
I actually have a KACC meeting on Thursday. I'll find out for you for
Okay.
sure.
I know, I usually it was about this time. I just, with it being your last meeting, that's why I was like, I brought it up. Okay.
Yeah, I would like them to, as long as we're not
Yeah.
spring break.
That was the problem last year was, yeah, but we were still able to, I mean, my spring break's the same spring break again, so push come to shove, I don't mind taking the students again like I did last year.
Okay, that would be
You're
great.
awesome. Thinking about.
Michelle will come back from maternity leave.
Can't ask her to do that.
Right?
That's okay, but I'm in. I don't
Oh.
know if the bus saved me, if I'll be allowed to bring it on.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Well, best wishes.
Yes.
Have a wonderful
Yes.
leave.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Hope you relax a little.
As much as you can with a newborn.
Right? Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Meyer.
We will bring cheer here next month. We thought about it this month, but then they're still kind of cheering. So we'll bring everybody, we'll bring the competition and everybody in next week, or next month, sorry, to talk about their state qualifying and all that good stuff. So we didn't forget about them, so just let everybody know. I got some thank yous, basically what I want to do. PE department, I mean, I know it's been kind of a mess because of our whole gym situation, but I'd like to thank Juan for allowing us to use his facility, one. I'd like to thank Bob Barber and getting us into Zion as well. We're trying to do an AM, PM schedules like Monday, Wednesday, AM. We go to those facilities. Tuesday, Thursday, we try to go in the afternoon to those facilities. Friday is off per se, or if we miss a day, we try to get in. Like today, a couple groups went outside. I've said if it's above 40 degrees, let's walk, let's get outside on the track, let's do something. So I just appreciate you allowing us to come there. Thank you for that. And same thing, like I said, with Mr. Barber and Zion. It's really been nice that the community has worked with us. Number two, I'd like to thank Graham Park. I know you're not going to listen to this, but Dr. Palin and Jared Thompson, the fact that they allowed us to have homecoming down there. They allowed us to do our shootout down there. They allowed us to play Friday down there. They're allowing us to play tomorrow down there. I mean, they have been above and beyond. And it's just, again, appreciative that they allow us to do that. Great relationship, very good people. So that's kind of the two big things. I'd like to touch base with Sarseny too. He's in our classes getting ready for, Dr. Gam always talks about, how good Sarseny is and how just the wonderful guidance counselor that he is. And so he's working now. He's making you proud, by the way. So
He's a busy man.
He is a busy man. So I just want to make sure of that.
And coaching. I don't want
And
that.
coaching
I
too,
mean,
that's right.
he does.
That's right. Hey, tonight, they play in 2 minutes.
Awesome.
So,
I wanted to commend you. I love the what you're doing, or how you instilled the power to organize the Black History Month, but commemoration week. I really like what you did.
thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Meyer? Nope. Scot-free. Thank you. Dr. Gaham.
I'm going to allow Ms. Compton to go first if you don't have an objection to that, Ms. Pappas.
Not a problem. I'm flexible.
Is it showing?
Your little hand showing.
It's popping up.
There it is. There you go.
I'm not talking about preference.
No, referendum up there.
Yeah. Is this a commercial during the presentation?
Just putting out there again, please pass the Teacher 202 referendum in April. Would you watch Hulu? What's going on?
I just need, because I don't want to minimize this, my email will pop up in some substantial amount of trouble.
Well, let's see it.
Been there.
We could for you it anyway.
There's nothing inappropriate in my email. I assure you all.
I am sure.
I did congratulate Mr. Sarseny on his counselor of the week award. Nobody TV at home doesn't do this. I blame Compton.
There you go.
All right, so I'm just gonna give a little bit of an
You're
update
toggling
on what is, I think we're okay here.
I think we are.
Going on in our special education world and with our RTI process across the district.
Is it working?
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't, okay.
Do we know how to pull that down?
I don't know.
Mr. Duncan will save the day.
Click on just the screen.
There it is.
Try my best.
I have a new line. I don't have this.
Have you tried restarting?
Oh, you're just awesome. Have you tried
Just
restarting?
an overview of what our special education populations look like across the board in district. Our numbers have gone up pretty significantly at the elementary school and a little bit at the junior high. They've gone down at the high school a little bit, but if you look at our class sizes across the district, as far as our caseloads go for our teachers, right now at the elementary school, the caseload average is just under 17 students, and same thing at the junior high. We're at the high school. Our teachers right now are sitting with caseloads of 23 students. So there's, 6 students.
Oh my goodness.
Is a lot, for caseloads. So we're working on things always. We're always talking. What's been nice this year is we've done a lot more communicating across the buildings with our special education departments. We just wrapped up a couple rounds of, we're doing transition meetings now for our 5th graders that are transitioning to the junior high, and then also for our 8th graders that are transitioning to the high school. We're holding those meetings in those buildings, and so that students are getting an opportunity to tour the building and get a little bit more acclimated before they head on over. They're getting to meet those teachers. Just today, we actually had, this was the first time we've done this, we had one of our junior high special education teachers and Mrs. Lofton, who was our 5th grade special education teacher. They switched places for the day.
Oh.
So our 6th grade teachers, all of them are actually going to do that. So they're going to get an opportunity to meet these incoming 5th graders and get to know them a little bit and make the students feel more comfortable as well. So I'm really happy and excited that we're able to do that. So that's just a little overview of where we're at. Okay. Our external placements, we have 4 different placements that we are very blessed to have through our SOIC co-op. CAB is, our numbers in our SOIC placements have not changed. We were at 25 at this point last year, and we're at exactly 25 this year. We did transition 2 students back to district this school year, so I was really excited about that, and they're doing great. And we did receive 2 students, actually both in our EC program that are at CAB. And so our numbers haven't changed, the programs have been great. Again, this year we've tried to do a better job, and I feel like we have, of working with our external placements, especially even with our students that have transitioned back to us. We've reached out to those programs and they've come in and done some observations if we're having some struggles in the classroom and just giving some teacher advice on how to better work with those students and meet their needs here in district so we can continue to support them here with us.
Which one took the place of Camelot, or are we not utilizing that?
You're not using Camelot anymore.
Okay,
no.
because I know they changed, but then that's
They
not.
did,
Okay.
yeah, we had one student that was there last year, he aged out.
Okay.
And so it was, it's my hope that we no longer have to use
I'd
those
rather not.
placements and we can continue to support our
Okay,
students.
I mean, whatever there is needed, I just wasn't a big fan. Okay, thank you.
Yep, okay. So then, just to talk a little bit about RTI, obviously we know win time was new at the elementary school. We're still using win time. That's allowing, again, for more small group instruction for all of our students. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, we're continuing to progress monitor those students, and we're really looking at data and making those decisions. We have tweaked RTI a little bit at the elementary school this year. The teachers are looking at that STAR data, they're looking at grades, they're looking at Ames Web, and we're being able to use that data to really make decisions as far as curriculum and how we want to group our students and how to work with them. And then also our RTI team just looks a little bit different this year. Instead of meeting K through 5, we broke it up into 2 different groups, which has helped. Especially because, we don't always have subs. And so that's helped just in that aspect of making sure that we're utilizing everybody and being respectful of people's times. We have a K through 2 team and then we have a 3, 4, 5 team. So, we're just meeting and talking about those students. And it's really just been helpful, and it's given the teachers an opportunity to feel like they're heard and things are getting, you know, they kind of are touching base with their corresponding special education teacher during that time, and so they feel like they have a better support system in place. So I think it's been great. And Nicole already kind of touched on this, but we are going to be meeting next week, I think we're meeting to talk a little bit more just about how we want to continue to change things and move in a positive direction.
Okay.
Same thing with the junior high. We are meeting consistently to review data and make those group decisions for students. So right now our model is that students are being pulled out of their special class to get reading and math intervention. And they meet with a teacher and they're getting the use of IXL. They're also getting homework help if they need it. It's basically, again, it's win time at the junior high. It's what the students need. We're giving them that support during that time. We've kind of gone to where we're now rotating the groups every quarter, just because it's with the nature of the beast of the junior high schedule, it was a little bit easier for us to do that. Just last week, we participated in a pretty intense 2-day RTI training, and we were really excited about it, so we're gonna we're also meeting next week. We wanted to make sure we met before Dr. Klasny leaves us. So we're gonna look at our RTI plan and at the junior high and talk about if there's different ways that we can meet the students' needs, and actually looking at some ways to add more minutes into the day to get more students RTI support. And then 2, also just looking at our tier 1 students and talking about ways that, you know, I think a couple years ago, you know, we didn't really have RTI at the junior high, and so we first wanted to get up and running, and tier 2 and tier 3 supports, where now we're at a place where we feel like, now let's dive in and see how we can help everybody, and even in the general education setting, and help our teachers feel more comfortable doing interventions in the classroom. So it's kind of where we're heading. And then the high school, not much has changed there. We're still doing credit recovery through Ingenuity. The students are still getting support during study hall with the use of our paras. They've been really great about just checking in on students and giving them support in the classroom and during study hall. And then we did add this year, there are weekly boys and girls groups that meet to address social emotional needs of students. I've sat in on a couple of those meetings, and it's really great. It's open to all the students in the building, and so they can just come and go. You know, they know what topics are being discussed, and if it's applicable to them, they can come. If they don't want to, they can leave. So it's nice, it's open, it's nice that the students know that that's available to them, so it's been great to kind of see that take off. Last, just district-wide, again, touching on that social emotional piece. We're continuing to use DESA at the elementary school, where it's an assessment where it really focuses on student strengths. So many times we're talking about where are the students' weaknesses, but this really focuses on their strengths, and so that's why we really like this program. And then again, it'll kind of group the students, and if we see that there's students that have a need for certain support, our social worker, Ms. Emily, will pull those students into a small group and give some support with them. And then School Links is being used at the junior high and the high school with our social workers and with Mr. Sartsini at the high school. I really, again, we've had a lot of IEP meetings, transition meetings lately, and it's been really cool to watch how that program works. The students are actually becoming active participants in their IEP meetings, and they're talking about what their goals are and what their plans are, and a lot of that comes from what their activity is in School Link. So it's been really cool to watch that grow. So I hope we continue to.
Is that like career clusters, and then like they take quizzes to see what their interests like and stuff? Okay.
Yeah. So it's been really great to give those students that chance to start to you know, do some research. And I know one of the students this week was talking about what school they wanted to go to. So Mr. Sartsini pulled it up, and they could do a virtual tour of the college campus, you know, sitting right there in their seat. So it has a lot to offer. And then I can't use the laser.
You can use it, it's not gonna show up on the TV.
Okay, I don't think I can use my link here. But that's okay.
I can click on the link if you like from here.
Sure.
Laser.
That was a quick look.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna make you sign in. Don't worry about it. I'll just talk about it. So this is just a brief overview of where we are in IXL. Just a nice quick snapshot for the district. I check it once a week usually, kind of just to see where we're at, and Our students are very actively using IXL. We have, as a district, have answered just over 1 million questions so far this school year. So they've mastered over 17,000 skills. They're proficient at almost 22,000. And so, you know, they say the average they like to see about 20 questions per week, and we're double that. So our students are really using it and engaging in IXL. So I'm happy to see that as well.
The visual you're missing is a mountain?
Yep, it's right here. It's on my computer.
I was like, just like, you know, I use that program. It's a mountain. You're not missing anything special. Don't worry.
No.
Now I got it.
Yeah. Yep, so that's it. So any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Compton? Thanks for the info. Great job.
Does this go to Joe or?
No, it would go to me.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're up.
I am indeed. All right, so now comes the part of the show that isn't as good as the singing and the wonderful board reports we just got. So now it's the state of our of the referendum situation. I did get reached out by a parent this last week. There's a parent committee group that is being formed to support this, and so they're more than welcome to use me as a liaison as needed. I will gladly provide anybody information. Same with any community group who'd like me to come and talk to them about the facts behind the referendum, the new numbers, and everything that's going to go with it.
And I would just like to express appreciation with the parent group. I think that is awesome that people are joining and seeing the need for it and everything. So it's very appreciated from the board front.
Good. So why are you rerunning the referendum already? So again, if you followed along from June, the board has made some changes. It has addressed some things. I will touch on that a little bit later. But more importantly, the newest information that came out that is a substantial difference than what we knew about in June was the adequacy levels of the state in 200U is at 64%. So what does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked because there's a wonderful video that was put together.
Is it the animation one?
Please don't ruin it for me. There's very few. Oh. Hey, Joe Duncan, why is my browser not up to date? I tell you what, this guy, I tell you.
I can't describe the entire video. It's not just a mountain.
I think you should act it out
yeah.
as like the Happy Hands Club, ASL. Here we go.
Funny thing is, it literally opened.
We knew right before when you checked everything.
It's happening.
Oh, I hear it.
It's happening.
Deficit thing?
It's happening.
Sure. Simply put, a structural deficit is regularly spending more money than you have coming in. The state of Illinois has a formula to determine how much money.
Let me restart that
Yes.
so you all can hear Dr. Kwasny from the very beginning.
Very nice voices in there. I liked it.
There are students as well, so you'll find that you'll recognize a lot of voices.
Can someone explain this whole structural deficit thing? Sure. Simply put, a structural deficit is regularly spending more money than you have coming in. The state of Illinois has a formula to determine how much money schools need per pupil to provide a good education. That's called the adequacy target. There are many different things that help determine a school district's adequacy target, like recommended numbers and costs for
teachers, specialists, counselors and social workers, librarians,
technology assistants,
nurses, teaching assistants,
administrators,
substitute teachers, other school-side staff like lunchroom workers and custodians.
The formula also takes into account the costs of things like
computers and other tech equipment, student activities like extracurriculars, athletics, and arts programs, student testing,
supplies like textbooks and papers,
school building operations and maintenance like utilities, insurance, and upkeep.
So, Illinois put all of these factors into a mathematical blender to determine how much money is needed in this region of Illinois to provide kids with an adequate education. So that's the spending side of the equation. What about the revenue or the income side? Illinois then determines how much local capacity there is to fund education. In general, this is based on the equalized assessed value, or EAV, of the properties in the district. This is simply the value of all the property in the district as determined by the Will County Assessor, and includes both residential and corporate properties. District 200U has zero control over this, and the EAVs. Next, you add whatever the school district received from the state in education funding the previous year, and then back to the mathematical blender.
If you divide local capacity by the adequacy target, you get an adequacy level for District 200U. Currently, that adequacy level is 64%. That means that District 200U only receives 64% of the funding it needs to provide an adequate education to our students. Yet, we still do. We have low class sizes. Our teachers are paid on par with comparable school districts. We have sports, extracurricular programming, and after-school activities just like wealthier, fully funded school districts. How do we do it? For the past few years, we have been deficit spending. Important projects like abating our schools of asbestos, updating our school HVAC systems, making our school one-to-one technology, updating all course curriculum, and textbook adoptions have been priority to bring 200U up to date. The reserve fund can only maintain the spending for so long. As a community, we have a decision to make for the education of our students. We can pass a referendum that allows us to address our school district's structural deficit in a more permanent way, or the alternative is the elimination of teachers, programs, and the service for kids, and the inability to address future capital projects. That's the decision on the ballot in April.
So that was put together by our students with the help of a individual who's a former parent of one of my students. So they did a phenomenal job, and I'm hoping that if you guys...
I think you're playing the YouTube channel.
Tell you what, this Joe Duncan guy.
I know. Good job. We're watching ourselves.
All right. Back to our presentation. So, basically what I'm telling you is I'm no longer telling you as a superintendent of the school district that the board is outspending money. The state is telling you guys that we don't have the money. It's not the superintendent telling you we don't have money. It is the state of Illinois telling you you don't have the money. You're at 64% adequacy target. That's the truth. You don't have money coming in because of the continued PTEL problem. You can only go up by CPI. I said this the last time in June, I'm saying it again. This is not the fault of the board, it's not the fault of the community. It's not. But sooner or later it catches up with you. And it's caught up with 200U. So here's some facts. What we're asking for this time is a 535, not the 575. Will my taxes go up? The answer is yes, your taxes will go up. If you remember back last time, it was at 635. I compared it to 2021 taxes because that's what I get to use. You guys still had a bond in 2021 with a 607, including the bond. The aggregate at that time was 485. Just so you know, your aggregate levy this last 2022 approved by the board is projected at 485 as well. So that is a 49-cent increase. I've shown the community this slide more times than I can count, but again, your EAV affects your levy. As your EAV goes up, your levy comes down. That's how it works. And so it's that teeter-totter we've talked about. The revenue necessarily doesn't always go up the same rate, but it's if your EAV goes up, your levy goes down. If your levy goes up, your EAV goes down. There's no way for me to do anything about that unless there's a referendum. If I get a referendum passed, then everything gets to go up, and then over time, you'll have exactly what Beecher's faced over the last decade and a half. Your rate will continue to go back down as long as the economy recovers. If your CPI is higher than 5%, like it was at 8.1 the last time the referendum was done, the levy was done, we got 5%, not the 8.1. So you're in a PTEL county. It means you can only get CPI or 5%, whatever's less. Once again, operating costs. This levy goes towards your operating costs. It does not go through, it is not going into projects. That's one of the things I did here. Well, you know what? The reason your referendum passed is because you didn't give us a project to do. You're right. The project is the children of 200U. That's my project. It's not the HVAC. It's not gym floors. It's not the flood. It's children of 200U. That's what's on your ballot April 4th. I'm not going to tell you which way to vote because apparently by law I can't. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if it doesn't pass. And these are the facts, folks. You've seen that before. Here's your slide. So your EAV was 183 million, rounded, in 2021. Your revenue was 8.9. Had it been at 535, that's $9.8 million. So it's about $1 million difference, which is substantial. What does that cost me as a district citizen? $1 a day. If your home's EAV is $225,000, which in my opinion is pretty fair market, it's pretty close to being in the middle of where everything's at, it's $1 a day. One extra dollar every day to the school system will allow us to bring this back around. If your home's a little bit less or a little bit more, obviously that changes. But in general, simplicity of it, it's $1 a day. This is what your guys' tax bills look like. I showed you before. Just in case anybody at home still want to know what it looks like, this is where you'll find your EAV and the rate on your tax statement. I've circled it right there. What you're going to see is your 2021 number, which would be 607. Here's your levy history over the last decade. I've shown you this, I'm sorry, it's now 11 years, so it's a decade plus one. There's your EAVs on the right. There's your actual total rate in the middle. If you look at your total rate, the last time your rate was close to 535 was back in 2010. Your limiting rate in 2012 was 535, a decade ago. Since then, you'll notice it continues to go down as long as the EAV goes down. If the EAV goes up, you'll notice that your rate actually goes up just a little bit, the teeter-totter. So what has this board done since June? Here's the things that they've actually approved or discussed to date. Prairie State fees, Prairie State reimbursement and AP reimbursement are gone. They approved that on 9/12/22. There's $19,000. Technology fee has been implemented across the school district, $50 per student. There's roughly 1,000 students, $50,000. Sports fees have all have gone up. I'm projecting that to be on the low end, $12,000. If people continue to do sports, or if we continue to have sports. If we continue to have sports.
Can you also tell them that we weren't charging fees that are normal in other districts?
Correct.
And so what we're doing is we're bringing these fees to where other districts are.
Yep. The SRO position is an IGA with the village. That is done in April. That is a conversation the board has started to have. They have not continued that, and they have not engaged the village at this time. My recommendation as the superintendent of the school district is to not renew it. Has nothing to do with the village, has nothing to do with the police department, has nothing to do with SRO Hanson. I think he's a great guy. I'm going to take a teacher 9 times out of 9 over an SRO. Elementary school, elementary and junior high art position, I've already made that clear, that one's gone. She retired, wonderful teacher, love her to death. Don't have the funds to replace it. A general ed teacher is retiring as well at the elementary school. So when Ms. Pappas asked how many levels are at the 3rd grade, the answer today is 4. The answer tomorrow, at next year at this time, 3. Everybody's going to have 3. Does that mean class sizes are going up? 100% it does. These were all things I said were going to happen, and they're going to happen, folks. Freshman sports are not going to be a thing next year. So we are going after sports as well. So you have girls volleyball, girls basketball, and boys basketball, the 3 that have a freshman level. Those will not happen next year. That will save us on both coaches and transportation. And then I've already removed 10% from all budgets at the district level. I'm sorry, at the building levels. That's where we're at now. So that right there is $333,000. I need to get to about $1 million. I'm a very far way off, which again makes my job very difficult and makes me, I get it, the bad guy. because quite frankly, these fine folks will only do what I recommend to them. They have never walked up to me and said, hey Jack, cut that teacher. And they never would. I go to them as the person they hired and said, this is what needs to happen because of that. So it is me being the bad guy. It is also me being the bad guy when I tell you what else is on the chopping block if April 5th gives me a certain result. And you'll find out that's only $400,000. I've found $500,000 so far, a little over $500,000. If people can't read at home, it says all extracurricular programming over the summer is gone. All programming. General ed paras at the elementary, they're something that we need. I love them, but we have a lot. So those are going to be cut back. Summer enrichment programs, does that mean summer school? It means summer enrichment. If you're at the high school and you need credit recovery, or if you're a student who did not pass a grade level, you still will get those services through the principal who works over the summer, because that's part of their contractual time. But no, I'm not bringing a teacher in over the summer to teach summer school. That's gone. I will cut all budgets by another 10%. That's going to give me another 15%, and I probably can go more than that if I really needed to. But once again, when I cut budgets in science classrooms, in health classrooms, in PE classrooms, then I have a different problem. Now I have a problem of my kid doesn't have enough to get educated. I'm telling you right now, we have 64% of what we need to get educated. High school certified position, right now there's an art position that's being filled in by a sub. That position is another one that, if I don't have the funding for it, that's a certified position, I don't need to rehire. Registration fees, the finance committee talked about this at the time. They didn't actually address it. They said, let's look at what happens. However, if we can make that work out to where basically if we double it, you increase your revenue by another $125,000 on top of the technology fee. That would be my recommendation if this does not pass, to try to make revenue better. I apologize, I skipped two of them right there in the middle. I didn't mean to skip it. I would highly recommend to this Board of Education that all JV level sports are cut and all 7th grade level sports are cut. You still would have varsity level, so all kids at least would have an opportunity at some point in time to play sports, and you'd still have your 8th grade. Your 8th grade team is allowed to have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. There's another $70,000. You notice what I'm not cutting is everything I can is a teacher who teaches kids right now. That is one thing I have not addressed here. And I just told you I needed $1 million, and I told you I found $700,000. It's ugly, but I found you $700,000. I'm 2/3 of the way there. There's nothing else I can cut, folks. Outside of this, it's teachers. It's not a bus. Bus is a reserve. That's nothing. $100,000 for a bus is nothing. You pay for it, it's there, we're good. Bus doesn't cost me $100,000 every year. The other thing that the board has been very kind about, they have defended the community, and they are wonderful for doing it, but we have a lot of families who take advantage of the, I live within 1.5 miles, but my babysitter's over 1.5 miles, and you get free transportation, which the school district does not get reimbursed for. We don't see any money. We provide a service free of charge. I would recommend to the Board of Education that we start charging those. These are not threats, folks. I'm telling you the truth. And I wish I could come up here and give you a wonderful presentation like Ms. Compton did about the wonderful things that are happening. It was very good. That's their job from here on out, is making sure every one of these meetings they say something great that's happening, because kids are doing a lot of great things in this district. Then it's going to be my turn to step up here and tell you exactly what's going to happen next year. I'll get us in the black. Have no doubt about it. I'll get you in the black, folks. Now, whether that black is April 4th or that black is additional cuts, it's not my decision. Moving on to the other topic. A little more positive, I guess, here. So I met with the village regarding the Penfield construction. If you guys don't know, they are going to do a massive fix to Penfield. Now that seriously affects Miss Black, and I did pull a little prank on her. She was less than happy with me when I told her that we're closing down her staff parking lot for a few months.
Really sweaty really fast.
She did. She did. It wasn't nice of me. However, the projected start date is 3/24. That's March 24th. At that time, they are going to do the culvert. If those who don't know where the culvert is, it is literally right next to our driveway. So, sorry, Joe, I know I'm going to be in your way. Here is your elementary school. Right there's the culvert. Parking lot, culvert.
The bridge? Is it the bridge?
Yeah.
The bridge, yeah. They're
Okay.
replacing the bridge, the
Okay.
culvert under the bridge. So, for that time, from March 24th to projected May 8th, that bridge is out. It's gonna be one-way traffic. Now, we're gonna work with the police department, because what's gonna happen is our buses will drop off at the high school like they always done. Sorry, Mr. Peters. Joe, if this messes with your camera, I'm sorry, you slide it to your left a little bit. We're gonna have the buses come out, go down Route 1, and actually go all the way down Penfield to go into the staff parking lot, turn around, and exit out of there again.
Can I just ask the obvious question? This
Of course.
couldn't happen in the summer?
Huh?
It couldn't happen in the summer?
So there are multiple phases to this.
Ah,
We'll get there.
okay. I hope those are going in the summer.
That's a village question.
Right.
He's just telling you what he
I know.
So again, this is not a
Thank you, Dr.
feature.
Gaynor.
This is not a feature tuner project. We have nothing to do with this. We are, and the village has been very accommodating so far. We're gonna work with the police department, so they're gonna come down here, go down there, turn around, and come right back out. If you are an elementary parent, you have to turn left out of this driveway. You cannot turn right. If you turn right, you'll drive into a massive hole that is being filled in by a culvert. You'll only do it once, I promise you. So for that time frame, everybody's going left out of the parking lot until projected May 8th. Then the culvert is done. That's the good part. So then they start phase 2. Phase 2 goes from May 9th, projected, into basically school summer time. At that time, you'll notice that they are now doing the south side of Penfield, which means it is one-way traffic all the time, and you can only go east. So at that time, we'll have our buses basically do the normal thing, go here, go around, pull in here, turn around, and continue out to Penfield. That one's, I guess, a little bit nicer. If your kids are picked up anywhere in this vicinity, you'll be contacted by Ms. Fellaini telling you how your world has been adjusted a little bit. It's mainly junior high kids, because otherwise if you live in this area, you're within a mile and a half. I think it actually only affects 4 families, tentatively. The stop that is on the other side of the tracks, those 9 eligible families, 9 eligible kids, they will now be taking the orange bus at 7:30 in the morning because we don't have a bus that goes on that side when the bridge is down. We do have a bus that goes through, so they would be having to be picked up at 7:30 to catch that bus instead of the 8 o'clock bus that comes through. Then your third phase is when school starts back up. So phase 3 is only westbound traffic. So it's kind of a combination of the 2 you just saw. We'll go out on Miller Street, we'll come on up, go down Route 1, and we will go westbound only on the elementary school. And of course, at that time, if you are parking or pulling your kids in there, you gotta take a right. Good news is the police in the village know that I'm a grumpy old man nowadays, and they're gonna be working with us the entire time. The projected date for this to be complete, September 15th. So, yes, they're doing it over the summer.
I feel like there's enough issues at drop-off and pickup. I thank you to all the teachers at the elementary. I know it's gotten a lot better. I mean, I don't remember why, but I went through it at one point because I stay away from it at all. But poor Mr. Duran as the crossing guard and all the teachers in the parking lot.
Well, I think Mr. Duran's gonna be a lot happier because
A tax levy increase since this began. Okay, we've never asked for a raise except for the bond, but that went away. we need money, just like everybody else does. When you have excellence or you're pushing for excellence in education, it costs more. That's where we're at. So, thank you to the parent group again. And please, if you are confused about this or have any questions in the general public, please reach out with questions instead of assuming or anything. We are in a specific, important point in our school district. And I, for one, my kids are in this district clearly, and I don't want to see these things happen. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, we are on committee updates. First, transportation. Who would like to?
Okay, so we had a transportation meeting to discuss the need for a bus, if not two. Thought we had a good meeting. They were there to present. Mr. Gahan, would you like to explain what happened?
So they earmarked, they as in Midwest, I'm sorry, earmarked us for a couple buses. We had a discussion, and at that time, we figured 2 buses should be able to work. Due to some other circumstances that will then lead into the facilities conversation, we're back to 1 bus. Ms. Fellaini did have a person reach out to her today regarding a short bus, a small bus, a wheelchair bus, however you want to deem it. She's looking into that, and maybe that might be something that we look to buy to be used. Instead of ordering and getting it in 18 months, we get it in July. She's getting prices and information on that. And then obviously I'll let you know what that does to our overall budget before we bring that forward. But definitely 1 bus is ready to go. And it's later to be approved by you all.
Thank you.
Great. Any questions? I think we were there. Okay. I was not able to be at the facilities committee, so I would like to update that.
I guess I can.
Okay, thank you.
Facilities meeting went well. We learned that we have leaks in the roof that have to be repaired, which took out the second bus.
And the water.
Yeah, no,
And-
the second bus was taken out by the pipes.
The water.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
not the roofs.
The pipes at the high school.
And we learned that there is a ancient pipes under the building which are regularly blocking up, which requires a at least monthly or weekly.
Weekly right now.
Weekly cleaning at about $250 a shot. So a solution was found to rod the pipes out and reline them. I believe the cost is about $86,000.
So my projection, and again, I'm not a plumber, but I play one on TV, is about 70.
70, good.
The cleaning, the rotting, the descaling, whatever you want to call it, is about $4,500. That's getting done tomorrow. It should not interfere with the school day. They're doing it from the exterior on in. But there's about 240 feet of pipe that are the issue. And of that, 100 we're believing is suspendable, but the other 140 is in slab. And just like we did at the elementary, would require some form of relining. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, this was, to people who don't remember this, we had the same project that happened at the elementary, and we had to replace that pipe from underneath, or not replace, but reline. Yeah, and so this is that same thing, except a longer pipe.
And it's here at the high school.
It's here at the high school, yes, sir.
We're in great working order after that.
And we have the energy people too.
Yes.
Energy presentation.
Yes.
Yes. Are we going to handle that separate?
We're going to fill the rest of the board members. I mean, it was during open session. They're more than welcome to go and watch it. They came and talked about the 35.95 acres, putting a solar farm out there. We're looking at the reasonability of it, the subscription, all those things. The village, I believe, is talking on a generality today at their meeting, just to let them know that we've engaged with a company because it would be a lengthy process. Even if we engaged them today and said, let's do it, it'd be about 18 months out before they broke ground on anything, but.
Have they met with the village?
They as in the Synergy Group?
Synergy.
No, I
Okay.
provided Mr. Barber their presentation, so he's going to show that to them today.
Okay.
So.
Did it seem as complicated as we were thinking?
No.
No.
No? Okay. That's
No, and they answer, I mean, we had the questions that we had kind of brought up about who takes care of it when it's done, all that, and the revenue it would bring the district, if we would be able to participate in the discount program.
Okay.
Beecher residents would be first, and once the spots fill, or if they don't fill, they go out.
Okay, that's cool.
So, but it is, like we had said before, they have to apply, like it's a process. So
Right.
just as saying we want to do it doesn't guarantee it even happens.
Okay.
But we knew that, but.
So that was correct, okay.
They talked how it would be a lot quicker than we had thought, like years down the road. And they said, they kind of alluded to they would have an answer more like within a year, no matter what, so I didn't know.
Okay.
Better.
Great.
And they had an option of leasing for 20 years with 2 10-year extensions, or selling the land outright.
Gotcha.
So it would be possible to lease it and still own it at the end.
Okay, so our next step is,
An executive session, the board will have a conversation on whether or not they want to sell it, because that's an executive session item.
Okay.
Or lease it, and then whether or not you want to engage further would be part of a facility conversation.
Gotcha. All right. Any questions?
Oh, I did, after watching the video, I also asked Dr. Graham to get, if they have any information about what the price of the subscription would be, because community members could, if I understand it correctly, would buy into a subscription and then get a percentage back?
You would just
That-
enroll and you would get a 20% discount on your bill.
Oh,
So it
okay.
doesn't cost anything, you would just enroll, like, they use it currently, Stinella was saying with
Because I just heard him say subscription, so I didn't know if the subscription.
Constellation
was it.
Energy.
Yeah, Constellation, how it's currently, so you would just enroll in the program and you'd receive the discount.
All right, I wasn't sure if there was, I was unclear if there was an additional.
No, that they talked
price. And then, we talked about, I asked Dr. Graham, would we put like together a committee, because the other thing, they wanted community engagement.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
look into those if we pursue it.
All right, thank you. All right, so Mr. Duncan, if you would, your presentation on Chromebook iPad insurance.
Yes, excuse me. There's a packet that has some information. What we are looking to present is a insurance option for students and families that may want to negate the cost of expensive repairs. For example, like the most common, most common repairs are going to be a screen or a keyboard or mouse, and those are $90 a piece. So the insurance that we're proposing would be self-funded by our school district, and it would be a $25 premium with a $25 premium and a $25 deductible. So potentially, if they did have someone who was worried about some damages or that was an issue, this would be a way to really reduce and spread out any costs that they might have for those damages. So it would just be an optional program. It does cover theft, as long as it's in a locked location, but it can't just be left out.
Okay.
But as long as it's in a secure location, reasonable attempts were made to keep it secure. Or like a drop or a spill, liquid spill, and it'll cover up to $325 in damages. So for example, someone could break their screen 3 times, and that would just be $325 deductibles. So it would be considerably less. If they were concerned about that happening, they could just get the $25 insurance. If anything happened, it would be a low fee. We did look at some other school districts in the area. Crete, we looked at their website, and I think they had a $20 or $25.
Yep.
And
maybe it's 25 this year.
Schaumburg, we kind of looked all around at the whole area. They were like 3 times more than that. So it kind of varies all over. But for around here, I think that like $20 to $30 range seems to be about what people are going for.
Okay.
And we just wanted to give an option so that.
Well, as I say, and optional. Because I know my
100%
district,
optional.
most districts, it's not optional.
Yeah, no, it's required.
Part of your fees.
Yeah, it's part of your fees, so.
So that's basically what we're proposing. Some of the details are in there. They'd have to purchase it before they get their Chromebook basically at the start of the year. So they can't just choose in the middle of the year, hey, I just broke it, let me hide it for a little bit and bring it in. It would just have to be done when they receive their Chromebook or when the year
So
starts.
that be set up as an option with registration? Like,
Yeah.
just
Oh.
click on it and
They
pay for
would
it there?
basically choose it during registration,
Okay.
and as long as they paid that, then we're good.
And then, right now, so if somebody breaks a screen or whatever, it's $90. Is that correct?
Depending, there's kind of some what ifs, so if right now, we've continued this since before 2020 or right around 2020.
Yeah.
When we went 1-to-1 initially, just in time, which
Yeah, right.
I was very happy about the
Thank you, Mr.
timing of
Duncan.
how everything worked
Yeah.
out. But basically, if their first incident is no charge.
Okay.
As long as it's an accident. If it's
Yeah.
deliberate or destruction of school property, that's different.
Yes.
That's, more of a discipline issue, but.
Yes.
If it's just an accident, something drops, that they close the screen, the first one's free.
Yeah.
All the subsequent ones are whatever the normal value is, so it's per incident.
Okay, so it would be 90 per, after
Each
that?
time.
After-
Whatever, yeah.
Okay,
If you're uninsured.
if you're,
If
that's what
you're-
I'm saying, yes.
The one freebie is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be disappearing.
And then
No
that
matter what.
makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Still no option to buy. If you want a parent want to buy their kid a school one, can't buy it.
That's something we're still exploring with Mr. Duncan. It's something we're considering, yes.
Okay. Any questions? And then, so this is what we're doing, like, this is the plan. We're not, do we need to approve this tonight? What is the
Well,
next step here?
So this, what I'll probably end up doing is put on an actual board action item later. I want to make sure there's no questions regarding this that Mr. Duncan needs to go back and look into. But this would be part of the registration process that would then go in all the handbooks from the staff.
Okay,
Or
we
for
approve
the-
in the summer and changes, so.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. And I did ask Mr. Duncan to give numbers that would basically break us even. You're not, this is not a moneymaker. This is not us trying to rob people or stick people with fees. You don't have to engage with it, but understand if your child is one who frequently likes to drop their iPad, especially if they're not having a case on it, they might want to take advantage of this.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Joe, you gotta come in front of this camera more often. You did a great job.
You did. All right, so under new business for employment, I need a motion to accept the retirement of custodian Elizabeth Urquizo.
So moved.
Second?
Hernandez,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to accept the resignation of teacher aide Holly Trudeau. Is it Trudeau?
Trudeau.
It's no problem. Trudeau.
So moved.
Second?
Belt,
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, I need a motion to accept the resignation of teacher aide Vanessa Perez.
So moved.
Second?
Flores. Yes. Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the resignation of high school golf assistant coach Steve Sarsoni.
So moved.
Second?
Pappas.
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the employment of Maricela Vivian as full-time bus monitor.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, Larry, I've been doing too much.
Yeah.
Herman,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the employment of Deborah Moreno as a full-time bus driver.
So moved.
Second.
Definitely.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the employment of Denise Garcia as a full-time teacher aide.
So moved.
Second.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the employment of Elizabeth Pomeranski as a full-time teacher aide. Good names here.
So moved.
I'll second.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores.
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Harmon.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, I need a motion to why can't I speak? To approve the employment of Jonathan Smith as the high school girls track coach.
So moved.
Second.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores. Yes. Pappas.
Yes.
Harmon.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Village of Beach Ordinance 1385.
So if you remember, Mr. Kaporis and Mr. Kraus came and talked to you guys about the, what's called Project Pickle?
Project Pickle.
Project Pickle. So they have gone through their board process and they have approved a portion of it. And so it is an ordinance on here for you guys to do your approval of it so they can start the project. This portion of it. And so it is an ordinance on here for you guys to do your approval of it so they can start the project. Just a reminder, it is a pickleball court. It is a soccer. What's the name of it, Meyer? What's that? What is it?
Football.
Footfall.
Futsal.
Futsal.
Yeah.
Nice. And just a reminder, it is a pickleball court. It is a soccer. What's the name of it, Meyer? What's that? What is it?
Futsal.
Footfall.
Futsal.
Futsal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nice. And there is still going to be the basketball hoop there. And we're also still addressing the basketball hoops at the elementary. I know that was a community member's concern about the basketball hoops.
Great.
Not being there, it not being a basketball court.
Why,
Yes, sir.
why did we, at the elementary, say we addressed it? Why? I mean, there was cameras there. I don't think there was any real problems there. And the rims, I think, were taken down. They weren't put back up. I'm just curious.
So the problem in the past was, and again, for me, people like to break them. And so the biggest problem has been making sure the trees are trimmed and that I have cameras actually lined to view it. So in the spring, the basketball hoops will be up again, the nets will be out there, and kids can play basketball there. Now, if the community destroys them again, I can't promise that we'll keep putting them back out there, but we are gonna have the basketball hoops back up at the elementary with cameras. Yep.
Cameras are there.
Yeah, they're pointing at them now, right, Mr. Duncan?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Great. So I need a motion to approve Village of Beecher Ordinance 1385, Project Pickle.
So moved.
I'd say as presented,
As presented.
since they have the ordinance in their packet.
Great.
I so moved it. I think Juan seconded
Thank you.
it.
Ron and Juan.
Flores. Yes. Pappas.
Yes.
Harmon.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And I want to express appreciation again to the village board for this project. I am very excited for this partnership and all of the use that's going to come about. Okay. So I need a motion to proceed to executive session for the purpose of 5 ILCS 120-2C10, A, B, C, and D.
So moved.
1, 2, 6, and 10.
That's it.
Reasons 1, 2, 6, and 10.
1, 2, 6. I went to the bottom and then A to C. It's fine.
Wanna make sure
Thank
it's
you for the
official.
clarification, sir.
That's why I'm here.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. Pappas.
Yes.
Harmon.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Belt.
Abstains.
Abstain. Flores. Yes. Motion carried.
I didn't have a right to say a vote for her. I apologize. She is absent.
All right, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and then we will reconvene. Okay. Are we back? Okay, we are back in regular session at 9:19. And of course, I didn't pull my paperwork back out either, so hold 1 second. I'm getting there, getting there. I have too many. Here it is. We're here. Okay. I need an action to approve residency resolution 30079.
So moved.
I'm sorry, is that Mr. Mazur?
No, there was
Oh,
one.
one.
Seconded.
It's so quiet down at that end. Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores? Yes. Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need an action to approve the Beecher Education Association collective bargaining agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you for your partnership.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores? Yes. Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And I just want to say in regular session also, thank you to our negotiators and all your time and effort.
So just so I can clarify, so it's on the record, public record, your resolution 30079 found that that student is not a resident of Beecher and is being assessed non-resident tuition.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So make sure that was clear. Thank you.
And also thanks to the BEA. Okay. I need an action to approve the purchase of one bus not to exceed $100,000.
Second.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need an action to approve the administrative contract for the high school principal.
So moved.
Second?
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need an action to approve the administrative contract for the junior high school principal.
So moved.
Second. Flores? Yes. Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need an action to approve the administrative contract for the elementary school principal.
So moved.
Second?
Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need an action to approve the administrative contract for the special services coordinator.
Yes. I mean, so moved.
Thank you, Ms. Cox.
Second.
You're on a roll.
Herman?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need an action to approve the administrative contract for the district dean of students.
So moved.
Second.
Missouri?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores? Yes. Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Any other discussion items?
I would like to request a policy meeting from that committee if possible to review and or discuss our policy on cell phones and student handbook.
Okay.
Just send a thing to me or Mr. Gaham when you're gonna, your availability, and I'll make it happen.
And Janet is on policy, and so the person that will be taking her place will fill in there. She's also the chairman or chairperson of finance, and so I will be reaching out to who I would like to take that on. And then the other person, I'll let you know. Okay. Yeah, anybody else? Are we gonna need another facility meeting coming up?
Well, it depends on what happens with, when I reach out to Bill.
Okay,
At that policy meeting, we'll do Press Plus 110 as well. That's come up, so.
okay.
And there's some state laws too that came up. Did you see them? I think with KACC, we already have it, but I don't have it in front of me, but I sketch it.
Okay. Any items to add for March 13th, 2023? Make sure to reach out if you would like anything added. Upcoming dates would be the Education Foundation dinner this Friday, or this February 18th at 6. I will be there. We need to set our special board meeting to vote on and if any discussion is needed for Dr. Gaham's contract. So our possibilities, the 22nd is a half-day?
Well, it's gotta be the week after.
No, it's
Okay.
gonna be together, 28th or something.
Till the week
Yeah,
after 22nd.
I was just making sure
Oh.
that that wasn't good with, okay. So we were looking at the 28th, is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 28th, does anybody have a preference on time? Early, whatever?
After 4:30. I would say the same thing. I have a noon dismissal, so I'm guessing I have to be till at least 3:30 or 4.
Okay. Would you guys rather 5?
I mean,
6?
I can leave work a little early.
Oh, you don't have to. 5 or 6?
5 would be safe, I feel like, if that works for everyone else.
Okay. Anyone have a preference of 5 or 6? No? 5 then? Yeah? Okay, let's do 5. Okay, 5 o'clock on February 28th will be the special board meeting for Dr. Gaham contract extension. Okay, that's it? Yeah? I need a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.